the divine artist. He who paints flowers with shining colors and decks peacocks with colorful feathers. He who gives lush greenery to grass and brings out melody through cymbals of brass. He who weaves the fabric of the vast blue sky and creates the mountains so high. He who bestows beauty and grace on animals, birds, fish, and multiple human race. It is He who is your true identity. He is the Supreme Self. Meditate upon the truth. I am He. I am the divine artist. Realize the Self and be free. Om Nilambujasyyamalkomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayatacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Shri Ramcharitmanas in Ayodhya Kanda, and we are verse number 130. Shri Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, they are in the ashram of Sage Valmiki, and Shri Rama has requested to Sage Valmiki to tell him where he should reside during his 14 years of forest living. And Sage Valmiki took advantage of that question. And he began to give a profound insight into mind that has become like a temple. And if the mind is like a temple, there Lord Rama is to reside. O Rama, abide in the temple of the mind. But now that temple of the mind is being described, reiterating one verse from before. Mind, anyone whose mind becomes like a temple, discovers presence of Rama. But what we mean by mind that has become a temple? A temple should not have dirty stuff. It should be well cleaned and purified. Mind is a temple, but it is filled with impurities. I'm talking about the general mass and those who have not started their spiritual practice. And even those who have started practice, these impurities must be brought in their view and they have to be sublimated. What are they? Just giving you the names. Saint Tulsidas has summed up all 12 of them in one verse. Kama koha madamana namoha, lobhana chobhana ragana droha, jinke kapata dambhana himaya, jinke hridaya basamura guraya. O Ram, who is free of these impurities, in his heart or in his mind and heart here is one and the same, may you abide. And what are the impurities? Kama, perverted desires. Krodha, anger. Mada, arrogance. Man, pride. Moha, infatuation. Lobh, greed. Kshobh, excitement. Rag, attachment. Dvesh, hatred. Kapat, fraud. Dambh, hypocrisy. Maya is deceit, a deceptive plot. All 12 have been mentioned in one verse. That's a life's project. These are all. They distort the flow of your energy. They create short circuit. And if you want to enjoy life as it should be enjoyed, then all short-circuited feature must be corrected. And so that must be a constant project in life with profound patience. Swami Sakha पितु मातु गुरु जिनके सब तुम तात, मन मंदिर तिनके बसहु सीय सहित दौ भ्रात. O Rama, he who views you as his Lord, Master, in a profound way, not in a slavish way. Sakha, friend. Pita, father. Mata, mother. Guru. He who views you as all these in the temple of his mind, all of you abide. My blessings with you. Sage Valmiki say, अवगुण तज सबके गुण गाही, विप्रधेनु हित संकट साही. And what should be your attitude towards others? Avagun taji. You recognize their defects. That's perfectly. If you don't, then you are dull wit. Recognize the defects of people around you, their wrong thinking, their wrong habits. Recognize it in your mind. But do not consider them exemplary. Do not emulate them. Do not be like them. But when we recognize good qualities in others, emulate them, catch them, steal them. If you steal anyone's virtue, understand, you're not doing anything wrong. You didn't tell the person, I'm going to practice your good-heartedness. Can you permit me? You don't say that, we just steal it. I'm joking. So, avgun taji, sabke gun sahi, gun gahi. You do not bring to your heart the defects of others, but bring to the, collect them like you could collect pearls, all their good qualities, and bring to your heart. Vipradhenu hita sankata sahi. And in the battle of life, there's always challenging situation when you have to endure. That endurance you should practice in relation to Vipra. Vipra is Brahmana. First I'm telling you the literal meaning, Brahmana. Next, Dhenu, cows. For Brahmins and cows, he who endures sufferings to save them, to honor them, to allow them to flourish. If you take literally, then you are limited to first recognizing where those Brahmanas are. And cows, of course, there's no problem. You go to a cow herd or cow shed. Let me give you deeper meaning behind this. Brahmana means anyone. As I have explained to you, you are a Brahmana when you begin to have clarity of understanding. Understanding that opens the door to Brahman. Even if you have not progressed much, but any step you take that makes you a Brahmana. And when you are busy with using your strength to help others, to save them from trouble, or render service to them, playing the role of like an umbrella for yourself and for others, then you are a Kshatriya. And when you work to enhance things of value, the ordinary way of thinking, when you act like a good merchant and you know where to have the good investment, then you are a good Vaishya. But Vaishya here means one who evaluates. And if a person simply serves the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, rather Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya, if whoever serves is called Shudra, the servant class. what I'm leading you to understand, that every one of you are all the four. The time in one single day when your mood changes into assimilating spiritual teachings and growing in the light of wisdom and sharing it with others, then you are a Brahmana. You may wake up as a Brahmana. 1 hour later, you can become a Kshatriya. You're looking around and controlling people, asking them, why didn't you do this? Creating order. And when you begin to focus your attention on your money and spend time, how much is my bank, how much? I'm joking actually, but the idea is when you begin to evaluate how much have I gained of control over the anger, is it 10%, 15%? Then you are acting like a Vaishya. Just in the mother worship book, a Vaishya. Vaishya Samadhi. The more we enter into meditation and Samadhi, greater degree of Vaishya quality develops in you. You begin to evaluate. And your evaluation leads you to higher level. And when you are just developing a sense of serving all, so whether it is an opportunity to serve Brahmana level or Kshatriya level or Vaishya level, then you are a Shudra. So everyone can be all the four in one single day. But help the Brahmana, and for that practice austerity, endure sufferings. You are bound to endure sufferings, there's no problem in that. But endure sufferings for helping the Brahmanahood to blossom within your personality. So that's how you, and reference those who are following the same track. Inspire those who deserve to be inspired to be Brahmanas. Practice jnana yajna, dissemination of knowledge. So thereby you are serving the Brahman. Now what about cows? From very practical point of view, farmers who have a divine attitude towards cows, that attitude allows the milk of the cows to have a special element, a divine potency. And that is a science that is open for increasing research. And people know that. Even trees and plants, if you create a good mental vibrations around them, good music, good atmosphere, the fruits are charged with some special nutrition. and the leaves become more medicinal. In the beginning, you may have to believe it, and science proves it. So that's the one level of helping the cows. But you know that in the scriptures, all the Upanishads are called cows. Helping the cows means learning to be nourished by Upanishadic wisdom, and thereby these Upanishadic scriptures, they become happy, they thank you. They don't like to be just staying somewhere to be eaten up by moths or worms. So, bring endurance in your life for Jnana Yajna and for being nourished by Upanishadic guidance. नीति निपुण जन कई जगली का, घर तुम्हार तिन्ह कर मन उन्हीं का. And those who follow exemplary conduct in their life, so while you are following a conduct, you are setting an example to people around you. That's exemplary conduct. Maryada Purush. Rama's role was being a Maryada. So whatever he did in any setting, that becomes an example, an ideal to pursue. And that should be your lifestyle. You shouldn't be doing something that if somebody else also follows the same example, you don't like that. But in yourself, you like it. I'm talking about negative quality. गुण तुम्हार समुझई निज दोषा, यही सब भांति तुम्हार भरोसा. राम भगत प्रिय लागहि जेहि, तेहि उर बसहु सहित वै देहि. And those who consider virtuous qualities in their personality, they consider their virtues not their virtues, but God's grace. All virtues belong to God. And vices, yes, they belong to me. There's subtle meaning behind. Virtues belong to God. God is your essential nature. Virtues belong to Swa, your essential self. They belong to you. Vices don't belong to you. They belong to not self. You are divided into two, self and not self. Virtues belong to the self. All the vices, not self. They are not natural. And you are always detached in your deeper level. And those who have developed absolute trust in you in every way possible. And those who find devotees of Rama, when we say Rama, it refers to all devotees of any deity, because all is Rama. So whoever loves devotees of God in his heart, may you abide along with Lakshmana and Sita. जाति पाति धनु धर्म बढ़ा बढ़ाई, प्रिय परिवार सदन सुखदाई, सब तजी तुम ही रही उरलाई, तेहि के हृदय रहु अघोर घुराई. And he who has given up all worldly relations and considers you as the only reality and enshrines his heart by invoking you. And what are those? Jati, Pati, Jati, caste, Pati, sect, Dhan, wealth, Dharm, the type of religion you follow, Badai, your fame and name, your family relations, your happy home, all these that keep you cozy and comfortable in the world. Turn your mind away from all these distractions. All the happiness that you get through all these comes from Rama. So instead of calculating things, what are the things that give me happiness, and go on in multiplying them. Even the very attitude that happiness is coming from outside, that's based on ignorance. And that will never be fulfilling. So, there is absolutely nothing wrong in being happy. But when you are happy with anything, just give a little tickle to your mind. The happiness is not coming from that object. It's coming from God. You find something very delicious. Your tongue is thrilled, your teeth are involved. Bring a little touch that this taste is proceeding from God within. And in loving your children, in expressions of loving relations, all the happiness and joy that you receive, behind that, God is the source. God is the source behind all human beings. If that is your qualification, then let Rama abide Valmiki's instruction. Saragu naraku apavaragu samana, jahan tahan dekh dhare dhanubana. And he who has developed equal vision, no matter how the world is, heaven, hell, and there are people who are in the state of moksha, liberation. Heaven, hell, and liberation. All these are in the realm of Maya. Rama is beyond bondage and liberation. Rama is the reality. Therefore, do not be distracted by the sense that now I have found heaven. Previously I was in somewhere else. And while going through hellish sufferings, remember that no matter how hellish is your dream, you are on your bed. So, whether you experience hell or heaven in your dream, all the time you are sustained in a different plane. When you wake up, all these are unreal. And therefore, even while dream goes on, creating different situations, your real source within your real personality is ever the same. Put it in an advanced way, all that happens in the world, the reality remains the same. All the projections that create so many types of drama on the screen, pathetic drama, terrifying drama, comedy type, amorous type, and so forth. Behind all that, there is one reality, the screen. That screen is Rama. Siya Ram Mai Sab Jag Jani. Consider this entire world as Rama and Sita. Rama and Sita are just one and the same. Karam machan ban man raur chera, Ram karahu tehi ke ur dera. O Rama, find residence in his mind. Who is your slave, who does everything under your command. What are the things? Manasa, vacha, karmana. All that you think through your mind, you consider it comes from God. Vacha, the words you speak. All the good words that you do and things are help you to be inspired. Those words especially, they are coming from God within you. But if you happen to be involved in negative thoughts and negative deeds, that's your private matter. So hide the private one. Go on hiding until it's sublimated. This is what Gita says, Nimitta Bhatram Bhavasabhya Sachin. Krishna says to Arjuna, be an instrument in my hand. Implying, understand your thoughts are not your thoughts. Your words are not your words. Actions not your actions. You are not the identity that you hold in your mind. Your identity is ego identity. But ego identity you are not. We first understand your ego identity as an instrument in divine hand, until you come to realize surrender to God culminates in communion with God and being merged in God. That again, all are allegorical terms. It's a revelation, I am that. जाहि न चाहिए कबहु कछु तुम सन सहज सनेहु बसहु निरंतर तासु मन सो राउर निज गेहु. He who doesn't desire anything of this world and who has a spontaneous devotion, not under compulsion, not under stress, not with expectation of fruit, but a spontaneous. Sahaj Sane, in his heart, may you abide, nirantar, forever. यही विधि मुनि वर भवन दिखाए बचन सप्रेम राम मन भाए. Coming to the storyline, when Valmiki gave all this guidance to have Rama's residence, Rama was delighted to hear all this. He went on listening to what Valmiki was saying with immense thrill. And then Valmiki comes back to say, O Lord of solar race. Whenever it's a Lord of solar race, must realize it relates to path of Uttarayana, the northern course. Agni, Jyoti, start with Vairagya, Viveka, discriminative knowledge, and so forth. And ultimately your soul blends with the light of lights, the absolute sun. So anyone who is moving towards that comes from solar rays. And those who come from lunar rays, they are a portion of the solar rays. Solar and lunar, both are supplement, complement. Lunar rays here represents Chandravanshi. Chandravanshi means, if you read the Uttarayana Marg, first stage describes, so you develop Vairagya, it's called fire. Viveka, light. Aha! Every day becomes much more thrilling if you practice integral yoga in life. Shukla now switches to your feeling level, your heart. So as Surya Vansha progresses, you are entering into Chandra Vansha, Yadu Vansha. That's where Krishna comes in. Rama comes as Surya Vanshi, Krishna becomes Yadu Vanshi. Moon here is a symbol of Ananda, bliss. And now the bliss in your heart goes on waxing. And finally, you become merged in that bliss. And that bliss is same as light of lights. The moon and the sun is the light behind the moon. कह मुनि सुनहुर भानुकुल नायक, आश्रम कहूं समय सुखदायक. Listen, O Rama, the king of the solar race. I will now tell you about the ashram that you must reside in. This proper place for your residence. चित्रकूट गिरि करहु निवासु, तह तुम्हार सब भांति सुपासु. Go and reside on the Chitrakuta mountain. There you will find all types of facilities. Beautiful forest, beautiful mountain, and that spot is always delightful because graceful elephants, lions, deer, and birds, they keep the whole place always inspiring, interesting, not boring. Now, even this description is allegorical. Though in the storyline, you are led to follow the history where Rama goes. But behind this historical setting, everything is allegorical from a profound point. Chitrakoot Parvat, a mountain that presents, that brings the glimpse of your highest goal. Taken a picture of the Himalayas and then you give to a person Chitra. So that setting there in Chitrakuta, pointing to Rama's ultimate success. Elephants represent faith. Lion represents jnana, knowledge-based insight. Knowledge-based insight is lion, roars. Then there's no doubt. Doubting is done by the howlings of jackals and foxes. But when lion roars, all howlings subside. Your mind goes on creating lots of discussions, doubtings, debates. But when someone gives you broad understanding, you don't know what to say. So that lion roaring lion type of knowledge is potential in everyone. And Rama is to reside where all these are operative. The elephant of faith, the lion of knowledge, wisdom, and the deer. Deer represents devotional movement, graceful. Deer like the music. That feeling within you that likes the praises of God. And that's what you see as deer jump around. And birds are different karmas. In brief, you don't go anywhere. Understand you are in Chitrakuta place. Your body itself is a temple. And the world around you is God's creation. So therefore, practice integral yoga and be enriched by all, by the birds, your good karmas, and by the deer, your devotional movement, by knowledge, faith, knowledge and faith. Nadi puri punita purana bakani, atripriya nija tababala ani. And in Chitrakoot mountain, there flows a river or a Mandakini. And the river has it's a mystical Puranic story that the wife of Atri, by her power of austerity, drew from Ganges, a branch of the Ganges, and that began to flow in Chitrakoot. And the name of that is Mandakini. Instead of giving you a long story, Anasuya literally means one who does not have jealousy towards anyone. And if you have that type of feeling within, then that feeling is matched with Atri, or negation. Three is triad, seer, seen and sight. So this type of couple, Atri and Anasuya, they are the source, they are the like parents for bringing Mandakini, stream of Mandakini coming from Ganges. Ganges is a general river implying bhakti and jnana. Now this one is well defined, Mandakini. Well defined, where jnana is active, dynamic. Mand Ankini, one whose stomach is very short. One doesn't have stomach for the worldly enjoyment. But for divine enjoyment, you don't need bulky stomach. So that type of subtle meaning, Mandakini. And later you will find with Ravana Mandodari, synonym of the same, Mand Udari. Small stomach. There are many implications you have to understand. Man, the term, in general concept, relates to dull wit. But in another context, it relates to something very graceful. Shital Mand Sugandh. Cool, gentle, fragrant. So that type of gentle flow of Mandakini is present in that Chitrakuta mountain. Jo sab patak potak dakini. Now Mandakini, Tulsidas uses a different type of simile. Mandakini is a Dakini. Dakini means kind of a terrible witch. Terrible witches, they go on destroying babies. They like to destroy newborn babies. And this Mandakini is like a demoness. But what type of babies she destroys? Peacocks, sinful. All sinful karmas and sinful projects are being born, their babies. And she destroys them. Terrible. अत्रि आदि मुनि वर बहु बसही करही जोग जब जप तप तन कसही. And there great sages, Atri and others, abide in that Chitrakuta mountain and in that forest. They practice yoga, japa, austerities. Chalahu safal sham sab kar karahu Ram dehu gaurav giri varahu. O Rama, go there and render their effort successful, implying they all deserve to have Rama's realization. So, O Rama, go there and fulfill their desires to attain bhakti, shakti, bhakti, mukti. And thereby give great prestige and glory to this mountain, Chitrakuta. चित्रकूट महिमा अमित कही महामुनि गाय आई नहाए सरित बर सिय समेत दो भाई. Sage Valmiki went on telling the glory of Chitrakoot. And Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, they entered the river and had a wonderful bath. And with this we conclude now. And what else will happen, we'll see. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukuva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyant Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ramayana Namah. Om Namah Shivaya.